By the time I had reached middle school or junior high, all my former Sunday school chums were left in the past. I had new friends, some of whom believed in God, and I often asked them why they believed. And one day a good friend and I met a pastor of his church while walking to the corner store, and we all started talking. He invited me to come to his church on Sunday and join in prayer. As you can guess, I told him I didn't believe in God. He responded to me that God was everywhere. God made the earth perfect for us. Look at the forest, he said. God is in the trees. The trees give us oxygen to breathe and wood to make our homes. God made the forest just as he made the earth and the stars of heaven. I had the need to explain why I thought he was wrong. I challenged him with asteroids. You know, big rocks flying through space that one day will smack us in the face from God's beautiful heaven. He simply said God would protect us. At that time, I told him I disagreed and that God would not protect us from anything. And that was the end of our conversation. It was a disagreement of serious proportions. I never did go to his church, but later on I thought about what he said. God is in the trees. I look at a tree and think about what makes it a tree. A tree starts out as a somewhat small packet of cells. It lands in the right spot, and under the right conditions, it germinates. Water and nutrients cause it to grow. With sun and rain, the sapling grows towards the sky. After a few years, there is a tree where there was none before. Is God part of the tree? If you remove the cells, there is no germination. If you remove the right germination conditions, there is no sapling. Remove the water, and the sapling dies. Remove the carbon dioxide from the air, and the sapling dies. Remove the nutrients, and the sapling dies. Remove the sunlight, and once more, the sapling dies. Now remove God. Would the tree still be there? Yes. I see no God in the process of growing a tree. I see no God in the forest or the earth or the stars. We do not need God for a tree to grow. If you think God is there and God is required, I'd like you to demonstrate what happens to the tree when you remove God. Show me. Explain it to me. Really. You might also argue that, based on one book, it was God who created everything around us, and therefore it can be said God is in the trees too. But how do you distinguish between your God creating the universe and Thor creating lightning? What techniques can you use to determine if Thor does or does not make the lightning we see? We can test and measure the components and environments that make up the world around us. We can test the properties of the unseen, such as atoms. We, however, cannot test the absence of God, nor can we test for the presence of God and clearly attribute something material to Him. So if your God cannot have a measurable effect on the real world as we see it and experience it, God's presence is indistinguishable from not being there at all. Therefore I say, I see no God.